Hey, welcome back for day 28 with Freedom Over 40. My name's Rhiannon. Thank you so much for being here, supporting me on my channel. I always appreciate your commitment to being here and to help grow this channel and community to a much bigger audience. So, as I say, it's day 28, so 2 more days left on my challenge to do 30 days videos, one video a day. It is about multiple things while we're here on this channel. It's about menopause, it's about being over 40 years of age, and about life, how we see it or how I see it. My experiences. It's also about me creating an online business that I plan to grow and to scale, and also to walk away from the 9 to 5 grind. What has led me to that situation, for those that have not come across me before, simply is the fact that when you're going through menopause, it didn't just change my body, it completely shifted how I saw things and how I saw my future. In fact, the thought of, being stuck in an environment that I don't want to be stuck in, 9 to 5 for 8 hours plus a day, 5 days a week, feeling exhausted, fatigued, can't open a window, can't even control the temperatures in the building, forever feeling cold, just simple things and pleasures that you would take for granted, I suppose. But it's just, I'm tired of all that, I'm fed up now. I want to be able to be in a position where I feel happier, comfortable, more contented in my environment. I just felt like with the fatigue and the brain fog that the sleepless nights and everything else combined, along with the 9 to 5, was just too much. It's just getting too much. And I think like my mindset and my mental health, has had a bit of an impact with it all. And so I realized that I needed another way out. I need to have this other way where I can generate an income, still pay my bills, become debt free, and basically live life more on my terms and not be dictated to. The struggles that I was finding harder was, as I say, working full time. I'm finding it, hard working full time at times. I'm feeling stuck, feeling restricted. I don't like that feeling at all. I feel like a caged animal sometimes when I'm stuck in an office that, I can't do anything. I've got no much control over, like with the lighting, with the heating, or lack of. There's no windows open for fresh air. I like to have fresh air. Simple things, but to me make a big deal, and I find impact me in many ways. Now, if you're like me and you get really hot, you get flushes and they sporadically come on, and you sometimes you don't even expect them to come on, but they do. The fact that I can't reach for a window to get fresh air, I have to physically leave the building to get outside to try and get fresh air, is ridiculous. And I get why we don't have, we have modern buildings these days that don't have windows to open for health and safety purposes, but there's just no happy medium. And I don't want to have to keep being stuck in that environment. And it's not like even a compromise, because there's nothing to compromise on. The building is what it is. I can't change anything. I can't even ask a colleague, would you mind if I open the window for half hour just to get a bit of air in here and to cool me down? Yes, I got fans on my desk, but it's the actual air that I crave, and not having that and stuck in a contained environment, the air just feels it's hard to explain. But when you're stuck in an office, it's like I'm craving air, and it's like a thick air of just recycled germs, really, which I don't think is very pleasant at all. Um, So yeah, it's simple things like that as well that I just had enough. I just want to have a bit more autonomy over my environment. I just want flexibility, and I want to be able to put my energy into things that I actually have a love and a passion for. Somewhere I feel like I can make a difference. That I can connect to people in the right way. That I can help people in the right way. Help encourage, support, motivate. I want to have a sense of purpose and make people realize that it isn't too late. Just because you're 40 years plus doesn't mean that life is over with. Yes, it may feel like that sometimes when you're going through the change with the menopause. You just feel like you're out of control with your body. You never know how you're going to think or feel from one minute to the next. Your emotions are everywhere. Your thoughts and feelings can be up and down. It's a difficult one. It's really difficult. But what I want you to understand is menopause just didn't close the door for me. It opened a new one. And I want people to realise that it's what you make of it at the end of the day. It really is. You know, you can't keep making excuses for things. You know, yes, I talk about the menopause because it's a big deal. It happens to us women of all different ages, from late 30s, mid 30s, right up to 50s, whatever, sometimes 60 even. It depends on how your body is with your hormones and things. However, there needs to be a lot more out there for us women. From a mental health point of view, same thing as well, men and women. You know, we need to be able to have a more open, understanding, respectful community, and that does involve your working environment as well. I think there needs to be even more emphasis on the fact that so many of us suffer with mental health at some point in our life. You know, it's not just about menopause, mental health as a whole, you know, stress, anxiety. There's so many different things you can look at. You know, some people will have conditions, some people have bipolar, for example, some people can have a condition of schizophrenia. It's just so many different things. Multiple personality disorder, borderline personality disorder. The list is endless. There's so many things there with mental health that I don't feel are widely supported or discussed enough out there. And it's also being able to help people cope with those things. And sometimes people will function to a certain degree before they go into crisis. And it's quite sad, but it's also because maybe in themselves they didn't realise that what they were actually living or experiencing actually wasn't normal. But to them it was, because they've not known any different. My father, for example, you know, although he hasn't officially had a diagnosis, if they were to do some form of a capacity assessment on him now, his mental state, his age, in terms of what his understanding is roughly around a 12-year-old. And he's always lived like that. So yes, he can wash and dress himself. Yes, he can read instructions on the back of a microwave meal. But that's pretty much where the level is, you know, that's where you draw the line. So it's a bit of it's a hard one, you know, because right now he's just had a heart attack. He's just had 4 stents fitted now into his heart to help, you know, open up the arteries, the valves in his heart, sorry, because he had blockages there. And he just thinks now, when I take him home, when they're allowed to discharge him, that he can just get on with his day. And today they explained to him, when you go home, it's a month's rest. It's a minimum a month's rest. You're not able to go out. You're not supposed to go out. You've got to be staying in for a month. No going out on your mobility scooter and all the rest of it, you know. And I've told him this so many times. He's been told this so many times already in the hospital, but I just don't think he can really understand that for as resilient as our bodies are, as we as people, you really do have to learn to rest and you know, let your body heal. Because although you may not be able to see on the outside of someone, like they've just had a procedure done, inside there's a lot going on, isn't there? You know, he has just had a major heart attack, for example. And that's, you know, that's going to impact him as well mentally. You know, he's not going to be as functioning as he was before. Grateful he's still here, grateful for the NHS as always for being there and doing their job and doing their thing. But at the end of the day, you know, when it comes to mental health, we need more of that as well. We need more services. We need a lot more. And I've worked in mental health, so I get the position that the hospitals are in everywhere, both general health and mental health even. But I could go on another tangent for that another time. But yeah, I suppose what I just want people to realise is, yes, mental health can be a big player in how you function day to day, but I think it's looking for ways that you can implement or start doing that you can adapt to, you know, that you can improve with your life, your mental state, change of environment, change of your social group, change of people you're around. You know, there's a lot of things that could help benefit you. And I'm still learning. I haven't got all the answers. I'm simply giving you my experiences of what I go through on a daily, weekly, whatever basis. But if anything I say today resonates, please comment. Tell me where you're watching from. Please let me know how you cope. What do you do to help with your mental health? And, you know, how long has this been ongoing for? Have you always had mental health conditions? Or is this a recent thing? Is it menopausal? Is it something else? It'd be so great to know, because I think we need to share this and be open and just let it go, you know, just be honest, and just acknowledging it and writing in the comments itself is amazing. You know, it's being able to put like pen on paper, isn't it? And just, it's like journaling, you know, is so good for the soul. So if anything I say today resonates, guys, please comment. I'd love to know where you are, as I say, and thank you also for being here. If you haven't done so already, please give a like this video today and subscribe. Let's help grow this channel. Let's push this out there with the algorithm and YouTube, and let's see what we can achieve together, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great day. Stay blessed.